Elden Ring Nightreign is the co-op Souls game you have been waiting for. Hello and welcome to the Critically Curious. I'm the Monk, and today, yes, we are going to be reviewing Elden Ring Nightreign. Now, I've been playing this game since release. I'm sure some of you may have seen my first impressions. And honestly, I have had an absolute blast. Elden Ring Nightreign is a breath of fresh air. I've never played a Souls-like game before. None in the franchise whatsoever. So if you're looking for a little bit of experience within the franchise, unfortunately this isn't going to be the video for you. However, what I can give you is, my honest opinion of what it was like to dive into one of these games for the very first time, and how I think Elden Ring Nightreign actually performs, which is, quite frankly, and to put this video rather short, pretty amazing. Now, it's been developed by From Software. For anyone that doesn't know, like I just said, they do make or have made the Souls franchise, also the first installment, that being Elden Ring. This isn't necessarily a direct sequel. I believe it's supposed to be a prequel within the Elden Ring kind of universe, and of course they have made quite a few twists and changes to that, and you'll also see familiar bosses from the previous games that From Software have made as well. Now, this game is available on the Xbox Series, it's also available on PlayStation 5, and of course it is available on Steam as well. And it will set you back around £35 depending on which platform you're buying it on. There's also a deluxe edition which costs £45. This is not one of those AAA rated £80 games, thank God. It's a nice solid game for around £35. You can also get it cheaper on things like CD keys. But okay, for all those people that don't know the genre, don't know the previous game, and haven't really seen anything about it, what is Elden Ring Nightreign? Essentially, it is a rinse and repeat game. The way the general cycle of it goes, you launch into a map, typically with two friends. You definitely do want them to be friends you're able to communicate with, and you essentially work on leveling up and getting a stronger team together, with that, hunting down better loot, just getting more levels on your character, and essentially taking down that day's boss. Now, the way it normally works is there are 3-day cycles. So day 1, day 2, you go around building up your team as much as possible, each day finishing on an ultimate boss. And then on the 3rd day, you go ahead and face off against a big beastie. The very first boss, or big boss like that in a game, is a 3-headed dog that has the sneaky ability of dividing itself by 3 and just annihilating your entire party. To say that I have oversimplified this is a understatement. This is a very, very tough game in which you need to rapidly get to grips with whichever character you choose to play as. There are a number of different characters that you can choose. Each and every one of them have a different skill, different abilities, and a different purpose in the game itself. You can make some really decent team synergies, and having an idea of your team composition can be really, really useful, and sometimes lead to you essentially winning that 3-day cycle, or of course losing and having to reload and retry again. Now, after you do beat this big baddie that, as you can currently see, is being a bit of a git, you do unlock bigger and better bosses. There are quite a number of different bosses, or different main bosses, that you will unlock. You'll also unlock different bosses around the world that you can actually explore as well. And of course, you'll also unlock different individual character quests as well. So when it comes to content, this game certainly is not lacking. It is full of detail. I mean, Elden Ring is renowned for being so full of detail in the first place, and Elden Ring Nightreign certainly follows suit in just a mass amount of extra content if you have the time to find it. But that's kind of the thing, and a downfall that I think many players are going to struggle with, because Elden Ring, you could kind of explore the game, find little nooks and crannies. Now, it's renowned for being able to do that. It's one of the best open world RPGs I believe you can get. And although you essentially do launch into an open world in which you can explore, it is an ever shrinking bubble. From the very moment that you land on the map with your team, you are under a strict time limit. Your day cycle is coming to an end. That boss that you're going to have to fight, like the one I'm trying to fight on screen right now, is gonna come, and time is only ticking by until this moment. And then of course the day refreshes and you have to do it all over again. The point is, you're definitely not able to explore this world in one try. You're not going to be able to explore this world in a dozen tries, because essentially it goes so quick. It's one of the biggest downfalls I feel about this game. I would love the ability just to explore the world. Maybe there'd be a mode that you can just jump in, dive down, and just explore to your heart's content, because it seems like such a full and detailed world that we're unfortunately, as players, forcing ourselves to just dive past or run past at the quickest moment we can, because we know we've got to get into that final bubble as soon as possible. Because if you're on the other side of those blue flames, then bad things happen and you don't live very long after that. Talk about the graphics, the performance of this game really quickly. It's a very beautiful game. It's a very detailed game. How they squeeze that into 20 gigabytes, I've got no idea, when other games struggle to squeeze it into 100 gig. The sound quality of this game is pretty cool, to be honest with you. All the bosses sound very unique, very different. All the cutscenes are very interesting, and you always want to spend more time in them than you actually get. I mean, take this giant roaming hand, for instance. You can't tell me this thing doesn't look pretty epic. I do think that it does have a few shortfalls, though. Combat certainly isn't one of them. Combat feels so smooth, so planned out, so thought through, and I just absolutely have fallen in love with the combat system. Honestly, this being my first attempt at one of these games, I really did not think I'd like it. Honestly to God, I didn't think I'd like it. I didn't think I'd have the patience for it. Turns out I quite like it, and I'm not bad at it as well. So as a new person coming in, I can say that there is certainly, a certain essence of friendliness to it. However, this is one of the hardest games you will probably ever play if you've never played any of these games before. And this is even talking to and playing with players that have played pretty much every Souls game there is, and of course Elden Ring as well, all confessing this truly is a tough game. The problem and the downfall of this game is it's not one that you're going to be wanting to play on your own. Although it's certainly possible, essentially if you die or get downed, that's it. Your day, your game is over. So playing it on your own, you're asking for a almost perfect run, which is going to be incredibly difficult to do so. And of course, the other downside of this game really is there's no crossplay. So if you buy this on PC, and your friends are on Xbox or PlayStation, you're going to have to buy it on those systems in order to play it with them. Not to mention the matchmaking is super, super slow at the moment. I don't believe it's a lack of players. I do think that the lack of crossplay is an issue, but finding two random players can take an awfully long time, certainly a lot longer time than needed. There are reasons for that, though, which we can go into in a different video as to why it takes so long to find a crossplay and find some randoms to actually play with you. Another downside is this game doesn't naturally have any voice comms whatsoever. You will have to invite those people into a party to actually be able to communicate with them. And I think that's a real oversight, because being able to communicate with your party is almost an absolute must. Being able to coordinate your attacks, your abilities, and stuff like that is so useful. I mean, to be honest with you, whether you play with people mic'd up or play with absolute randoms, the game's gonna be tough anyway, and you can certainly beat it regardless of that. But it is one of these games that you are gonna actually benefit significantly from having a full party of three that can all talk and communicate with each other. And because of its reliance on the co-op side, it's going to really limit itself to its player basis, unfortunately. And honestly, I came from playing on PC, having to buy it on Xbox just because that's the platform my friends were buying it on, did kind of suck a little bit, especially in 2025. You think the crossplay would be a thing. However, I have had an absolute hoot playing it. I'm going to be constantly playing it a little bit more. So if you are looking to play this game, and if you are looking to, play with more people that you know, please feel free to join the Discord. I'll put the link for that down in the description of the video. It'd be really great to have, kind of build up a community of players, especially if those people are looking for someone, then look no further. I will post that in the description. For overall rating, I'm going to give this game a very solid, very respectable 8 out of 10. I would rate it higher, but I do think that the crossplay is a huge barrier. I do think the lack of voice comms is a huge barrier, and I do think that the how slow it takes to actually connect with other players is a bit of a barrier as well, because you can get people to be very, very bored of this game very quickly because of those things. What I will say for those people that are struggling to beat that first boss, however, and that think that maybe this game is a little bit shallow, just wait till you beat this guy, because when you beat him, the game opens up a whole lot more with a whole lot more content. And if you stuck around to the very end of this review, a big thank you to you. Don't forget to comment red banana down below just to confuse all those people new to the channel or that didn't watch to the very end. And until next time, I've been a monkey been Chris and I'll see you at the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.
After an age of struggle, this is a fine achievement for which I am grateful. Indeed, a promising first step. However, the Night Lord yet lives.